Glide Sully here after a day at the office. And I'm sitting here thinking, it's a dang good thing I smoke in my truck. I know it's kind of hit or miss as to whether or not people do or do not smoke in their vehicle. I live in Austin, and this is what I've seen probably for about the last 20 minutes. Just sitting here, smoking my pipe, relaxing, watching all these people get upset, cracking up at them because they can't do anything about it. And it dawned on me, I'm curious as to what everybody else's setup is, those of you who smoke in your car. So I thought I'd go over my quick setup here, including my setup for how I take these videos in the car without totally wrecking. So obviously I got my pipe, and I have a couple of pipes that I really like in my truck, and this is one of them. It's an Indie Tobacco and Pipes pipe that I bought on eBay, which was, I think, a small pipe manufacturer that has since went out of business. Hey, that's great. And then I also have my Dagner double barrel, which is also kind of a small pipe. I tend to like small pipes because although I don't let the pipe hang in my mouth most of the time while I'm driving, because I don't want the airbag to create a new hole in the back of my head, I do still like to have small pipes just because they're easy to handle. So on a lot of cars have on the left side down here on the handle, I've got a little compartment, and that is where I keep my Zippo, which is a pipe Zippo. It's got the pipe insert, and I keep my car tamper. Now this car tamper is the one that has the little holes in it. I love this because it works pretty well when you're driving down the road. One hand on the wheel, you can shove it in there, and it's good for getting it working again when, you know, smoke goes down, not paying attention to the pipe, etc. I tend to let it go out quite a bit in the truck, especially when I'm talking. You've probably noticed that in my truck videos. And then I keep my everyday carry bag. This is my everyday carry bag. I picked this bag up at I believe Academy Sports, and I think it's basically a toiletry bag, or a dot bag, I think they call them in the military, something like that. Dob bag, I can't remember. The side pockets are great. I can hold probably 2 or 3 pipes in each side pocket, and then inside has a flap. Inside I keep all of my pipe tampers, and I keep my mason jars. And then when I get out of the truck, I carry this. And this is a leather pouch that I made myself. BS, that's my initials. No, my name's not actually Solely. And then in it, I keep baggies. And inside the baggies, for those of you that will tell me that baggies aren't a good way to keep tobacco, I also keep Bovita packs. So for every baggie that I have in this pouch, I keep a Bovita pack. Now I will tell you, one of the advantages of carrying this, and I'll throw this in my back pocket and I'll carry it around all day. I'll throw this in my front pocket and carry it around all day. one of the advantages of carrying in a baggie like that is when you sit down, you're basically pressing the tobacco. So I've had a couple of times where I've had a baggie sit down the bottom. I usually keep Bayou Morning. I'll keep the Sutliff Elizabethan match. And I'll also keep a little baggie with flakes. Like right now it's H&H Dark Flake. So I usually keep 3 different tobaccos. I like variety. I keep 3 different tobaccos in here, but I don't keep a lot of it because this is just my kind of a go bag for the day. I keep most of my tobacco in my everyday carry bag. And then I also, in my everyday carry bag, I tend to keep extra baggies. So if I'm in the mood for something that is in one of the mason jars and I don't want to carry my everyday bag, I'll plop that into a baggie and put it in my leather pouch. The reason I like this leather pouch, to be honest, I've looked at a lot of leather pouches and I didn't find anything that was as flexible as this. This is just leather that I bought off of eBay, and I really like the fact that, I mean, I can roll this thing up really small. It doesn't deform it. All I did was cut a strip and then I sewed the edges, and then I also used I think it's like fabric adhesive, and I ran a bead of fabric adhesive down that stitching. So it's kind of a process to go through, but I've been carrying this thing for probably a couple of months and I've got no issues with it whatsoever. The other advantage of carrying this is that when you need to load a pipe, it's got this flap. So I usually reform it and I sit this flap on my console here, and I'm able to use that to put the tobacco out on, load my pipe, and then when you're done, you fold it up like that and then put it right back in the baggie. So I don't know if I'll put a link down in the description, but I may put a comment later. Obviously I'm driving. Well, actually I'm not driving. I'm still sitting behind the same dang Prius. There's a lot of Priuses in Austin, by the way. So anyway, that's kind of my car setup. I've got, every once in a while, I've got an extra pipe or two here on the console, but that's pretty much my setup. It's kind of what I do in my car. I'm interested to know, let me tilt you a little bit here. I'm interested to know if you guys have another setup that works better for smoking a pipe in a car or a truck. And specifically what I'm looking for is I often have to keep a bunch of Kleenexes inside this little compartment where I put my tamper. And what that does is it keeps all the ashes that stick to the tamper. It also allows me to kind of twist it a little bit to get some of the ashes off, but it keeps it from getting all over the plastic and etc. So I'm interested if you guys have like a smoker's ashtray or something that you've modified. I'd love to see it and get more ideas on maybe different ways. Kind of works out for me on this side, on the left side of the vehicle, because I'm left-handed. So it works well. But I'm interested in what your setup is if you smoke. Now, I also said I'd covered the camera mount that I'm using. I think it was Mel the Garbage Man Harris that, or Mel the Garbage Man Piper, Mel Harris, that asked me what the setup was. And it's literally, I've always used a magnet mount for my phone in the car. I have 2 phones, so I'll show that to you. So this is the magnet mount that I use. And it has on the back of the phone, underneath the case, it has a magnet that you basically tape or affix to the bottom of the back of your phone. And it literally just sits up there. You don't have to put it inside anything, it just sits there. And I got another one that I use inside the car that sticks to the window. And it does pretty good. You have to play around with it in terms of making sure that you've got a good angle on it, but I actually use my extra phone when I'm not recording YouTube videos as a dash cam. And this allows quite a bit of flexibility. Now, like I said, I have two phones. One is for work, one is my own personal phone, which is what I record the videos on. But it's kind of a neat little setup when I'm wanting to record videos, so that you don't have to have that up my nostrils look. Now, I will tell you, every time you switch, I use an app that allows you to pause the video, switch. Well, I only do that in the car. It allows you to pause the video, switch to the front view, and then pause the video, switch to the back view, which is how I've made this video. I got the idea for this app from Simon. The app is just called Video Cam, and I don't know about Android, but I use an iPhone, so it's available in the App Store as Video Cam. I want to say there's a purchase. It's fairly nominal, $3 to $5, and that allows you to do a couple of extra things. It allows you to actually delete portions of the video. So every time you pause the video, it creates a separate clip, and then at the end you can save all of the clips, or you can unclick whichever clip you don't want to keep. So I think you probably, if you watch Simon's Drives in the Morning, you've heard him complain about not being able to unclick, and I don't think he's bought the actual version. I figured it was worth my time to not have to re-record videos over and over again, to be able to deselect videos. I've got a couple on this session that I need to undo. So anyway, that is my car setup, or my truck setup, because I am in Texas. And I gotta tell you, if you live in Texas, don't drive a Prius. Now, I know I'm gonna get a bunch of hate mail on this one, but if you're in Texas, you need a huge truck, as big as you can get. Why? Because you're in Texas. That's why. When I moved to Texas, I had a car. You know what I did? I sold it. And I bought a truck. My son started driving. I didn't get him a Prius. I got him a truck. Big old F-250. It was an old one. My kids aren't that spoiled. So anyway, that is all I got, folks. I'd love to hear about your car setups. Let me know. Do a VR. Post your comments down in the crankcase below. By the way, that's what I call the, description box, the comments. It's the crankcase, because I am Real Glide Sully. Keep the rubber side down.